What if I told you that everything you think you know about female sexuality, especially mature female sexuality, is only the tip of the iceberg? That behind every confident smile, every graceful walk, every subtle glance from a mature woman, lies a world so complex, so rich, so layered, that most never even begin to understand it. Let's get something straight. Female sexuality doesn't fade with age. It evolves. It deepens. It becomes more selective, more powerful, and more self-aware. And yet, society tells a different story. It whispers lies. That desire dims, that passion dwindles, that confidence gives way to insecurity. But ask any woman who has embraced her body and mind after 35, and she'll tell you the truth. Not only does she know what she wants, but for the first time in her life, she's not afraid to ask for it. You see, young sexuality often comes wrapped in uncertainty, pleasing others, seeking validation, fearing judgment. But mature female sexuality, that's a different language. It's spoken in confidence, in boundaries, in intentional choices. It's knowing that true intimacy begins in the mind, that sensuality isn't always about skin, it's about energy, about feeling seen, heard, and desired beyond the surface. And here's what many don't understand. Maturity brings freedom. A mature woman is no longer ruled by insecurity or confusion. She's explored her likes and dislikes. She's confronted her fears. She's fallen, risen, loved, lost, and learned. And all of it feeds into the way she loves now, with presence, with depth, with clarity. She's not here to perform. She's here to experience. She's not waiting for approval. She's waiting for authenticity. She doesn't crave someone to complete her. She desires someone to meet her, fully and honestly, where she already stands whole. Her body might have changed, yes, but it tells a story now, of strength, of resilience, of pleasure refined over time. And when she gives herself to someone, it's not to feel desired, it's because she desires. That is her power. So the next time you hear someone speak of mature female sexuality as something past its prime, remember this: it's not fading, it's fermenting, like fine wine, richer, deeper, more intoxicating than ever before. But only those who are brave enough to look past the surface, to ask the real questions, to drop their assumptions, they get to taste the truth. Now, I'll ask you, are you one of them? What they don't tell you, what they never tell you, is that mature female sexuality doesn't die with time. It doesn't dry up or fade into some quiet corner of existence, like we've been conditioned to believe. No, it evolves, it sharpens. It becomes more profound and more potent than ever before. Because you see, when a woman matures, she begins to shed layers that never belonged to her in the first place, layers of shame, of insecurity, of society's projections about what her desire should look like. She no longer operates from a place of guessing or pleasing. She doesn't chase the fireworks, she becomes the flame. That youthful uncertainty, the questions about am I enough, or is this what he wants, is replaced with something far more powerful, clarity. And that clarity becomes her seduction. That's where the magic starts. She begins to see her body not as something that needs to be approved of, but as something that tells a story. A body that has carried pain, pleasure, loss, rebirth. A body that has been through cycles, seasons, and still stands sensual, present, alive. And when she touches, when she connects, when she shares herself, it's not out of obligation, not out of insecurity. It's a conscious, sacred offering. A decision, a choice, that evolution. That is the part people miss. They think aging means a dimming of light, but really, it's just the filtering of noise. What remains is raw, real, and radiant. And here's where it gets even more interesting: confidence. You see, when a woman matures, she no longer walks into a room hoping to be noticed. She knows she already is, not because of the clothes she wears or the curve of her hips, but because of the energy she carries. It's in the way she speaks, in the way she listens, in the way she owns her space without asking for permission. That kind of confidence, it's not loud, it's quiet, but it shakes the ground. She's not performing. She's not playing guessing games or trying to mold herself into someone else's fantasy. She is the fantasy because she knows exactly who she is. She has lived through heartbreaks, through breakthroughs, through disappointments that would have crushed her in her 20s. And now she walks with the knowing that she can handle anything. That self-trust, it's electric. She doesn't need you to like her to feel worthy. She's already accepted herself. She doesn't need you to tell her she's beautiful, though you will because you won't be able to help it. But that compliment is just a bonus. The real reward is her peace, her presence, her ability to say yes only when she means it and no without guilt. Confidence at this stage isn't about arrogance or domination. It's about alignment. It's about no longer shrinking, no longer apologizing, no longer settling for half, loves or almost. And when she looks at you, she's not wondering if she's enough. She's wondering if you can meet her where she's already arrived. Here's the part most people overlook. Mature sexuality isn't just about the body. It's about the mind. The real turn on, it starts up here, with the way you speak to her, the way you listen, the way you make her feel emotionally safe before you ever touch her skin. Because by the time a woman has truly matured, surface-level gestures just don't do it anymore. She's not seduced by charm alone. She's drawn to presence, to depth, to realness. You can't fake it with her. She'll read between your words. She'll feel your intention. She'll know whether you're just going through the motions or actually trying to meet her. Because to her, intimacy is layered. Emotional connection is no longer a bonus. It's the gateway. If her mind isn't engaged, if her heart doesn't feel seen, her body won't respond the way you think it will. She's not impressed by pressure or performance. She doesn't want to be conquered. She wants to be understood. And when she feels understood, that's when she opens up, not just physically, but spiritually, mentally. That's when passion becomes poetry. That's when the experience transcends the act. It's why conversations matter. It's why small details matter. It's why consistency, truth, and emotional intelligence become far more attractive than six-pack abs or smooth lines. Because mature female sexuality isn't about speed, it's about sync. When her heart, her mind, and her body align, the energy she gives off is nothing short of electric. And if you're not paying attention to that level of connection, you'll miss the real pleasure entirely. Here's a truth many don't want to admit. Mature women aren't interested in performing for anyone. The idea that sex is a checklist or a show to impress. That's for someone else. For a mature woman, pleasure is about being in the moment, fully present, fully surrendered, fully herself. It's less about what she should do and more about what she wants to feel. She's learned over the years that quality beats quantity every single time. It's not about how often or how long. It's about how real, how deep the connection is, how much space there is to explore without judgment or rush. Because pleasure isn't a race, and it's not a transaction. It's an experience, a dance between two souls who have chosen to meet in honesty and vulnerability. The performance pressure is gone, the masks are off, there's no need to pretend, no need to fake. She knows her body, and she knows how to ask for what she wants when she wants it. She's not here to put on a show, or to fulfill fantasies that aren't hers. She's here to create a space where desire flows naturally, where every touch, every whisper, every glance feels like a gift, not a demand. And that makes all the difference, because when she's truly free to be herself, pleasure becomes limitless. It becomes expansive. It becomes a sacred conversation between bodies and hearts, rather than a performance to impress or a script to follow. And that freedom, that's the secret most people never see. Years of living, loving, losing, and healing have given her a kind of wisdom that's impossible to fake. She's explored her desires not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. She knows what lights her up and what drains her energy. She's confronted her fears head on, faced her insecurities without running, and come out the other side stronger and clearer. This self-knowledge, it's her secret weapon. Unlike youth, where uncertainty often clouds pleasure, mature women step into their sexuality with eyes wide open. They don't settle for less than what feels right. They recognize the difference between a spark and a flame, between fleeting attraction and real connection. And because of this clarity, they can navigate intimacy with intention and purpose. She understands her boundaries deeply, not as limitations, but as declarations of self-respect. Saying no isn't about shutting down. It's about protecting her energy and choosing where and with whom she invests herself. Saying yes is equally powerful because it's a conscious choice made from a place of abundance, not lack. This kind of self-awareness creates a magnetic pull. It draws in partners who see her for who she really is, and who are willing to meet her on that elevated plane. And when she moves from this place of knowing, desire isn't just about physical satisfaction, it's about soulful fulfillment. This journey of self-discovery is what transforms mature female sexuality from something passive or hidden into a radiant force. It's the foundation of her power, her confidence, and her ability to give and receive pleasure on her own terms. What sets mature women apart is their fierce demand for authenticity. They've lived long enough to see through facades, to sense when someone is wearing a mask, and to recognize when words are empty. They don't have time for games, for pretending, for surface-level charm. They want real connection, real emotions, real truth. Approval used to mean something in their younger years. Maybe it was about fitting in, being liked, being wanted. But now that need has faded into the background. They're no longer chasing validation from others because they've found it within themselves. They stand tall in their worth, unapologetically and unshakably. This means they're selective, not because they're picky, but because they value their energy and time. They attract and are attracted to people who can meet them honestly and deeply, people who bring emotional intelligence, kindness, and respect to the table. It's not about perfection, it's about integrity. When a mature woman opens herself to someone, it's an invitation to be seen fully and completely. She's not looking for someone to complete her. She's whole already. She's looking for a partner who can match her depth, who can honor her truth, and who can hold space for her complexity. Authenticity isn't just a preference, it's a boundary, a litmus test, and non-negotiable. And that insistence on realness makes her sexuality all the more magnetic, all the more powerful, and all the more irresistible. Because when you're authentic, you invite others to do the same, and that kind of connection, that's rare and it's gold.